I'm gonna go to hell for writing about Lucifer and Jesus. Okay. It's a story. Chill your jets. Hello. Welcome. So, if you do not know, I'll link it up above. I announced that I have a new pen name, Serapia Medill, which will be my erotic romance pen name. Now, I had planned, great plan, to follow the wagon trail of doing short reads on Amazon. And I was like, you know what? Lots of people are doing series. Why don't I do a holiday series? Do erotic holiday romances here within the Southwest Arizona area in a near future, because the universe / Lord, whatever, knows I cannot write contemporary. I have tried a few times and failed miraculously. I just can't write contemporary. I lose all want for it. I will read it, but just, I don't know. I just don't like it. But I can get away with it, I've learned, if I make it near future. I can make it kind of feel like it's the present, but then add a little bit of futuristic elements to it, and we're good. So, I'm just a sci-fi girl. What am I going to say? But that's what I was going to do. And I still plan to do that. But I was having some problems. So I had an idea for fall romance, fall book. And I had an idea for a winter book. And then I got to spring and summer, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I didn't want to be too cliche, and I didn't know if we were still playing on the America thing. I kind of hit a small wall, because this month was going to be me planning 1 or 2 or 3, and then writing those to get my 50K for NaNo in November. Then, as I'm struggling, I decide one day, after getting some advertisements on YouTube, for the Good Omens Season 2. Anyone who's been watching my Instagram stories, because who knows, I might still be talking about it every so often now. But in October, the end of October, we just kept randomly mentioning how I was just slyly obsessed with Good Omens. So I watched Good Omens Season 1 a little bit after it came out, because someone had suggested it to me. I knew about Good Omens Season 2 was coming. I didn't know when it aired, and I kind of just forgot about it. Then suddenly, earlier in October, I got shorts, YouTube short advertisements from Prime. And I was like, okay. And then I saw a couple that I was like, I need to watch this. So I did. I watched it over, I think it was 2 days, and became so deeply obsessed with remembering why I loved Aziraphale and Crowley, and then this is their romance arc, and how absolutely horrible and evil Neil Gaiman is, but also wonderful and amazing like everyone else. And I started spiraling, I fell in love with it and instantly went to fan fiction and watching compilations and reactions on YouTube. Literally to now. It is October 23rd. I don't remember when I started watching it, but October 23rd, I'm still obsessed. I'm trying to slightly be less obsessed, because the storyteller part is coming up, and I feel like I need to free up brain space. But for days, I have been obsessively just watching everything, rewatching the show, looking at all the reactions, essays, video essays, reading shit tons of fan fiction. And just, I was listening to one, I don't remember if it was a TikTok or if it was a short, but there was one specifically where it was the music that it was playing, and because of course I didn't save it, but the type of music that was playing in the video and the clips they were using, I had a thought. It just poofed into my brain. What would happen if in the future, because again, we stated I am a sci-fi girl and everything has to take place in the future, but in the near future, near-ish future, we're going to say near-ish. And the apocalypse, or the rapture, is supposed to be coming. And, Jesus were to come back. And, there's the Lucifer, or Satan. He was an angel. And I just kind of thought about it. And I was like, what about if they got together? And then I had a pause moment, and if you were on my Instagram, you saw this process start. I posted on Instagram. Is it in SEs? If two characters are adopted by the same person, but they're like 10-ish years apart, never lived in the same house together. It's just that their parent is the same. And they're paranormal. I put down. And the no won out. There was a couple maybes. And I think there was one yes. But yeah. So I was like, okay. So I felt validated in my thought, because technically God created the angels so they would be his kids. And then Jesus is his actual child, or her, taking Good Omens. But I'm not taking the IP. I was inspired, okay? And then I was like, okay, I thought about this more. So the first thing I wrote down to be like, okay, this could be a writing idea. Satan/Lucifer having a relationship with Jesus as two adopted children, creations of God, the two princes of the earth falling in love, while they try to save the world during Judgment Day, or the rapture, in a future where humans don't all live on Earth. They have populated the solar system, and in the end, they run off together, refusing to kill the humans and not wanting to be their father's tools anymore. And I have a really, really cute, adorable, I know exactly the last scene that I want to write in the story. Like, I can see it, I can envision it. I have never had an ending of a story so clear in my brain since I finished Project Elf. So yeah. And I thought about it more, and then I thought of the ending, and I was like, you know what? I give up. I'm struggling with this holiday romance series. I'm just gonna write this. So I started taking it seriously and thinking about it in a more serious context. So I decided, okay, let's start with names, because we know how important names are to me. I was like, okay, Jesus, but I don't want to do something essentially tied to Jesus. I was like, I want something to be inspired. And then I was like, do I want to throw in a Latin name? Do I want somebody between Jesus and Lucifer to be Latin? Yes. So Jesus is a Latin person, and I decided to choose Oveja, which is lamb, or not, it's a female sheep. So Jesus is the Lamb of God. So I was like, if they're a lamb, this is the second coming of Jesus. So older. That was my idea. They are femme, non-binary, she, they, and they're half divine. So they're kind of like a demigod. So they can use some powers, and so my idea with them is, so if you read the book of Revelations, it doesn't exactly say that the second coming of Jesus, they're going to be like reborn or anything like that. It really makes it sound like Jesus just appears fully adult and then separates the lambs from the goat, or the sheep from the goats, or whatever, takes humans back, or the good people, whatever. So I was like, what about if this Jesus character, this female Jesus, let's just start it. Oh, and before I continue, the title of this project, Project Blasphemy, because again, this is going to be under Serapia, so that means it's an erotic romance. So I'm just going for it. But okay, so this female Jesus is going to be born like first Jesus. And the catch will be is that they'll be born and they'll be raised by their human parents. We're not going to see any of that, but they'll be raised by human parents. And when they turn, I think it's 13, I put. Yes, 13. So harkening back to like a bar mitzvah for Jewish boys. At age 13, something in their brain unlocks. And they start remembering their past lives slowly. And start realizing who they are. And their parents acknowledge finally that also. And they're from 13 onward, they start having to reconcile between who they are, who is Oveja, and who is Jesus. And they're the same person, but different people, and also their first visit and things they were telling people, but how people have interpreted those talks and where religion is at this point in this future world. And by 1920, they have fully remembered everything. So they even remember the pain of crucifixion. Like they remember everything. But because of how everything kind of functions, there's this crisis of faith that she ends up having. And she's not who you expect her to be. Because of this crisis of faith, having to remember and live through all those things and how horrible people are, knowing the history of the world, and how people choose to still treat people, because it's not a utopia in this future necessarily. So there's this situation. Now, they're also how I'm going to make this work is Oveja, or Jesus, will age after some invisible number that I haven't decided, somewhere in their 20s probably. They'll stop physically aging, and then they become essentially like an immortal being, because they're supposed to like bring in, the rapture, but things don't actually happen that way. And she lives for actually a long time, and we will have like a time jump to an even further future. Not super far, but we're going to be like near future, and then a even more near-ish future time jump. Now, on the reverse side, our male lead character, who is Lucifer, or Satan, who I haven't fully chosen. I have a name, and I keep forgetting to ask my mom about it, so I'm not going to share the name just yet. So I'm just going to call them Lucifer. Lucifer is going to be pan and non-binary, they, them. They're fully divine because obviously Lucifer was an angel. He was created in biblical terms. So this is where I'm like child and creation, where they're like adopted. That was kind of like my brain again. So I'm not a biological child of God, but so they're fully divine. They can do almost anything. They have almost unlimited powers. I haven't decided any limitations yet, but pretty much whatever. They tend, so they're kind of like a sort of gender fluid. They tend to alter their sex all the time. They kind of just do whatever they want. But they do favor like a flat mask chest and then kind of just do whatever downstairs. Whatever they feel. Sometimes, for centuries, they'll rock being fully masked. And then for a few other centuries or, maybe just a decade, they'll have, a vagina and flat chest. So it kind of just depends on their preferences at the time. And they've been alive for a lot longer. I am not saying that this Lucifer has been alive from the beginning of time. I haven't fully decided on that yet. I don't know if this is going to be a rebirth of Lucifer, or if maybe he went to sleep for a little bit and then woke up. I haven't decided that part. That's the fuzzy part. I haven't thought about it too much. I've been focusing a lot on the Jesus character for some reason. But yeah, that's kind of what my idea is just this huge blasphemous short read about a Jesus character and a Lucifer character deciding that they don't want to be tools of their main parental figure / God. I still haven't decided if I'm going to make it a God, all powerful being thing. But they don't want to be their tools. They don't want to kill or end humanity. And humanity has populated every single planet in the solar system in some way or in some form or shape. Humans live on every single planet somehow. So there's a lot of almost different species of human, because humans have been living on different planets. And there's a lot of people just stay on the planet sometimes, or sometimes they come back to Earth, or they intermingle. It's almost like people living in different continents in a way, but there's been even more changes to biology. But I haven't ironed that out either. And it's a short read, so I shouldn't have to iron that out. But my brain can't help but world build excessively because I'm a world builder. So I have decided that before we do this time jump in the little bit farther near future, we're gonna have our sort of meet cute, but not full meet cute. So, the Jesus character, she will be of a consenting age, 20, I think is what I wrote down. I didn't actually write down. We'll just say 20. She'll be consenting age. She's still having her crisis of faith. She's in college or whatever, at a party, and drunk. Maybe not fully drunk, but as drunk as she can get, maybe she can't. I don't know. These are things I haven't decided yet. But she's going to be at a party, slightly inebriated, and something is going to call her to Lucifer. Again, I know that this is if you've read Hunger's Desire, this is a very similar concept to the beginning of that one. But they'll, meet and be slightly inebriated, or some form of inebriation will happen to both of them, and they're going to have a one-night stand. And that one-night will happen. They don't know who they are. They don't know that they have the same parental person, or that they both come from God. And they don't realize that they're supposed to be enemies. And this is sort of going to be an enemies to lovers-ish too, also. They don't know any of that. They're just having emotions and feelings and desires, and do the deed, and then they never see each other again for a while, for years, for, I don't know, maybe even a decade. Who knows? I haven't decided what the time jump is going to be. But then they come back and they have to meet again. And when they meet again, that's when I think one of them, have I decided? No, I haven't decided yet. But one of them will recognize the other first, and then the other one will then place things together and realize, oh, we've already met, we've had intercourse, and it was amazing, and I haven't forgot about it, and oh shit, we're in trouble. That's the feel and the vibe, and yeah, that's kind of that idea. And that's the information. This is a short read. I'm hoping it will be a short read. That just knows that this video has already identified that I could make this into a whole book, like a proper novel from a short read. But or maybe I'll turn it into a series. I don't know. Who knows what the hell I'm gonna do? This is such a vague idea that I just is living in my head alongside the space that Good Omens is not taking up in my brain, and I'm like, maybe I need to just write it and be done with it, and then I'll have space for other things. Because I did want to write some kind of short read something during this time, and then next year I was going to start writing the traditional novel that I want to write. So, yeah. The whole point of Sadafia is to kind of write fun things and write whatever the hell I want, and whether it's crazy or not. And this is definitely a crazy story. The idea of Jesus and Lucifer getting together and actually being in love and not wanting to end the world. And the ending the world part is definitely obviously inspired by Omens. But the idea of like a Jesus and a Lucifer getting together, the two, princes, the two royalties of heaven being together, is blasphemy. It really is just blasphemy. Yeah, they're supposed to be fundamentally completely different. But yeah, I feel like I want to tell you more, but I feel like it would ruin the story if I said more, especially because it's a short read. And if you're religious, you might get, and you're not, I've already turned this off because I'm spewing super blasphemous shit. But if you're not, you might get where I'm going with this before I even put words to page besides this brain dump. Also, I have a brain dump, like a proper brain dump in a Word document. I have not done a brain dump like this in either ever or in years. Usually I have to write. I have notebooks that I usually have to world build and brain dump by hand in order to create ideas. This one I wasn't home, so I started a Word document, or I put a note in my notes, like I have done sometimes, and then added it to where my story idea Word document is, and then obviously, like I said, I can't stop thinking about it. I was at home to write in a notebook, and I needed to jot ideas down. I needed to just write these ideas out, and it turned into a brain dump file. And I've literally just been putting every thought and idea into this document, and it's kind of refreshing. And I think maybe that's why I really want to write this, is that it's a spark of an idea that I haven't had this strong of an idea. I feel like in a while that it's taken over my whole being, and how I'm world building this is different from everything else. So yeah, who knows? I might attach the whip tag to this, or I might have another just whip tag video. I don't know. this is a crazy idea. Let me know what you think. I don't want to hear about how I'm going to go to jail. I mean, not jail. How I'm going to go to hell for writing about Lucifer and Jesus. It's a story. Chill your jets. No. We're not doing that. I will delete your comment if you're going to be talking about that. Now, if you want to talk about it in seriousness and like all this total interesting idea, cool. You know, this isn't the last demon story people have read or stories even about like Satan and Lucifer. I even thought about having slight inspirations from Lucifer, the TV show, which I did watch a couple seasons of. I never finished because I heard it kind of got weird. But yeah, I also like myself a dark boy. I like Crowley. I like Lucifer characters sometimes in stories, the demon characters. Kind of where this comes from too. I'm rambling now because I slightly gave myself a high talking about this and addressing my Good Omens obsession. Also, if you want to comment about that, did you watch Good Omens? What did you think? The ending? Their intimate moment? Yeah. I'm gonna go. I need to sleep too. This is also probably why I'm rambling. It's late. I haven't slept. Okay. I'm gonna go before this gets weird. But yeah, let me know about the story, what you think. Be appropriate within the context of what I'm saying. If you're super religious and for whatever reason you didn't turn this off and watch the whole thing, and you want to tell me that I'm going to go to hell for writing this, I don't want to talk to you, and I will delete your comment. Again, full warning, I will delete you. So, yeah. But besides that, I'm up for any other discussion that are in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. And by the time this comes up, I've already started writing this probably. And I will be talking about it in live streams. So again, if you want sneak peeks at a lot of things, I talk a lot during my streams because it's live and it's at that moment. So you're going to get information first before videos. So check out my live stream over on the Doors of Jalaka channel. Alright, I'm going to go. Bye! Tell friends,